I just finished an 8-night stay with my family at the Dreams Sapphire Resort and Spa in Cancun, Mexico. And I'm going to tell you why this all-inclusive resort is a great, easy option for families looking for an awesome vacation, as well as some ways the resort could improve to work better for families like ours. Before you go on vacation, you have to book it first. And with 5 kids and grandma coming with us, I had to make sure I stayed within my budget. I've always booked my own vacations, but because my family's so big now, I decided to use a travel agent with vacationkids.com named Lea McCastle. The whole booking experience was awesome, and I can highly recommend her to any family that wants to be well taken care of when planning your vacation. I've linked her contact information in the description below. We flew out of Midway in Chicago on a direct flight to Cancun. This was the first time any of the kids remember being on a plane, and they were so excited. And even though the flight was full, we were able to all sit together as a family and enjoy the experience on Southwest Airlines. The kids were amazed that they got a free snack and soda and could even watch movies on the Southwest Wi-Fi. We did have some discomfort with ear popping and pressure, but we packed some bubble gum for the kids to chew on during takeoff and landing, and that really seemed to help. Arriving at the Sapphire Resort was amazing. It only took 20 minutes to take the Amistar shuttle to the resort, and when we got there, the resort staff greeted us with kid-friendly blue lemonade and took all of our bags to our rooms for us. Our rooms were both very close together and were on the ground floor, so it was always easy to get everyone together. There are no elevators at the resort, so if you have rooms upstairs, you'll have to take the stairs every time. Both rooms were spacious and clean, with 2 double beds. We borrowed a pack and play from the hotel for no extra charge for our 2-year-old, and there was plenty of floor, desk, and table space to get things done. We never felt cramped. The floors were all stone, which looked very nice, but it could be rough if a kid falls out of bed. The hotel has a preferred club with access to exclusive lounges, drinks, and pool, but my family chose to just do the basics, and we still had a fantastic time. The resort itself has a mixed aesthetic that reminded me of East Asia meeting colonial Mexico. It worked very nicely. The halls and roof looked grand yet inviting. They had artwork available on the walls, and small zen-like pools helped connect everything with a relaxing vibe in the open-air pavilion. The roof was actually a thatched roof, too. When I first saw it, I thought it was some sort of facade, but it's actually a real thatched roof made out of bundles of dry grass. The main pool area is huge. This is where most of the guests spend most of their time. The water is a little over 4.5 feet deep, so my oldest could just barely touch the bottom, but we made sure to bring floaties so that everybody could float in the pool safely as long as they wanted. My older kids liked treading water, while my son really preferred to hang out on the stairs where he could sit or touch. But still, my 2-year-old absolutely loved being able to float around with mom, dad, and grandma. The drinks by the pool were a huge perk for all of us. The kids especially loved being able to swim up to the bar and ask for the daily drink special, or even just order drinks by the color. The bartenders were always very accommodating, doing their best to make whatever fantastic concoction the kids came up with. Some of the drinks were really beautiful to look at, as well as delicious to the taste. The water slides were one of the biggest draws to the Dream Sapphire Resort, and they did not disappoint. The 3 water slides were just off to the side of the main pool area in their own pool. They were all 3 stories tall, but clearly had 3 different experiences. The first was definitely all about speed, sending you almost straight down with a big splash at the bottom. The second was a nice mix of speed and turns, and having the full tube covering you gave you a nice suspense of waiting for when you would hit the end. The third was actually my favorite. While you could get going really fast on it, it was open and focused on some nice turns to throw you around on your way down with a good splash at the end. It was easy to just go around and around and do the water slides again and again. There was never any wait for the slides while they were open from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. For any kids looking to have some fun that's less extreme, there was the splash pad inside the Explorers Club. Kids ages 3 and up could just be checked in and splash to their heart's content. This was my son's favorite thing to do all week. Every day he went and splashed as much as he wanted. He loved that there were slides that were the same size as slides that you'd see on a kid's playground, perfect for smaller kids, but big enough that the parents can join the kids if they wanted to. The Explorers Club did allow parents and younger kids to come in and splash for 2 hours every day from noon until 2 p.m. I wish that they had more opportunities for parents and younger kids to play in there. 2 hours during the most intense part of the day and nap time for many young kids just didn't seem like enough opportunities to get the most out of it. The splash pad is just one part of the Explorers Club. They have crafts, games, and activities that they run all day to make sure that the kids can stay safe and entertained while the rest of the family relaxes elsewhere. Our kids ate lunch with them one day, but decided that they actually preferred mealtime with the family. But aside from that, they loved getting to play with the staff, who were always very excited and energetic when interacting with the kids. But the kids aren't the only ones who get to have some fun activities. The Dream Sapphire staff were very fun and engaging. They were never in your face, but would personally approach our family to invite us to play a game or take a Spanish lesson or invite us to a show. This was the most personal activities staff that I've ever seen. While I think I prefer the more stand up and cheer and yell on a microphone to get everyone involved approach, their way of asking people to participate never interrupted the relaxing atmosphere that had been set up all around the resort. Plenty of people just liked to watch the games, but I loved heading down to the beach, which was just a few steps away, and enjoying more activities down there in the kayaks and sailboats that you could use. Taking my wife out on a kayak for two, or taking my family sailing on one of the catamarans was probably my favorite experience at the resort. I do wish that they had more activities scheduled. Adding a trivia game in particular would be nice. There seemed to be some dead time during the activities in the day. Also, some people like me play to win. It's no fun unless you win. And if you don't get a prize, did it really count? All of the games that had a winner just got bragging rights. When somebody wins a game, that's an opportunity for the resort to create a special moment with the guest and spread some branding. Give the winner a pin, or a button, or a hat with the resort logo on it, or even just a sticker that says you won. Something to recognize the accomplishment of winning the silly game that they chose to participate in. Activities are fun, but you'll really build up an appetite playing them. Fortunately, Dream Sapphire Resort and Spa has really great food. The main dining option is the buffet. We ate most of our breakfast and lunch here. For breakfast, omelets and crepes were my go-to options. You had to wait for them to be cooked, but they were made to order and were always excellent. The workers all spoke wonderful English, but it was very nice to try to learn some of the different Spanish names for the food that you were ordering. Breakfast also had normal offerings like pancakes, yogurt, milk, and cereal, which was the kids' favorite, especially the Fruit Loops. Lunch at the buffet was excellent as well. Again, heading to the grill and getting your meat or hamburger made to order was my favorite. They always had beef, chicken, pork, and a variety of fish and shrimp that could be cooked to your liking. I also liked that they had a small ice cream station available at lunch on most days. If you've seen my reviews before, you know that I'm sort of a master sommelier when it comes to ice cream. I had 4 flavors during my stay. The chocolate had a dark, creamy flavor, more chocolate than sugar. The strawberry had larger ice crystals and had a more artificial flavor rather than a fresh strawberry flavor. But the 2 stars were the vanilla and coconut flavors. Both had a perfect, creamy texture that did not build up on your lips. The vanilla tasted very much like cake rather than your typical vanilla, which was a wonderful deviation from normal expectations. And I don't usually like coconut, but theirs was so well made, I got several scoops every time I got the chance. Something that would make this better would be cherries. Neither the drinks from the bar nor the ice cream had any cherries. That's an easy improvement opportunity that I hope to see next time. Dinner was where the culinary arts were really on display. We ate at every restaurant except for Paramore because it was adults only. We started at Cebu, which served Mediterranean food. There was some confusion when we first arrived about using the app on our phones to look at the menu, so having a little more instruction about when to use the app for new guests would have been helpful. Despite the longer wait time, the food was excellent, and the waiter was very apologetic, taking full responsibility for what was honestly our mistake. There were other small service mistakes during our stay, like once we never got to order dessert because our server just never came back to the table. But the beef fillet and balsamic vinegar at Cebu was my favorite dish for the whole week. Lemongrass is their Japanese cuisine. This was the overall favorite restaurant for the kids. They ate everything that was served to them. Our server from there recognized us from before and made sure that the kids had food brought out first so that they didn't have to wait as long as the grown-ups. This was an excellent correction that made me feel like our family was really being genuinely cared for. Blue Water Grill and Fresco were in the same location, but had different menus on different nights. Blue Water focused on seafood, while Fresco focused on Mexican food. Being in Mexico, it was awesome to have Mexican food served at the buffet for breakfast and lunch, as well as a dedicated restaurant. But the best chance was actually through the room service menu. Room service was excellent at Dream Sapphire. We used it several days for dinner, when any of the kids were feeling a little too tired or cranky to eat out. The food was so good. The chicken fajitas were my favorite. But also, on the morning that we checked out, it was an invaluable help for having breakfast for all 8 of us brought to our rooms to help us keep focused on packing up the morning that we had to leave. The best dinner experience overall, though, has to be the teppanyaki grill, where the food is prepared in front of you as a show. Our chef, Ricky, did a fantastic job. He was so entertaining and engaging with the kids. The resort did a good job hiring him. His tricks were well done. He even played for the camera to make sure that all of you could experience his awesome hibachi skills. Too bad you can't taste it right now, too. You'll just have to make your own reservation when you head to Dream Sapphire for your vacation. In the evenings, there was always a show, and the shows were definitely good. Absolutely entertaining, but they fell short of my expectations. Each one had moments that were truly great, like when they released hundreds of balloons at the rock and roll show, or when the T-Rex came out, or when performers would blow fire. The shows were just very good productions, like that you would see at a large high school or large college, but not quite as good as you'd see on Broadway or other large city theaters. On the whole, our vacation to the Sapphire Resort was extremely relaxing, wonderfully entertaining, and most of all, easy. It was easy to do with 5 kids. The staff was friendly and personal, getting to know all of our names before the end of our stay. I can highly recommend Dream Sapphire for any family looking for an all-inclusive vacation. I felt like I got to experience everything that they had to offer and didn't miss out on anything.